The Information Builder's Accelerator for Officer Analytics provides pre-built analytical and decision-making capabilities designed to provide command staff with visibility and systematic analysis of citizen interactions at the officer level. In many agencies, these data sources are usually stored independently and can be difficult to operationalize as a result. Specifically, this accelerator is designed to identify officers that are outliers with regard to their citizen interactions based on data points that an agency supplies. In this walkthrough, use of force, complaints as reported by citizens in the community, and traffic stops are used as the data points. Think of the use of force, traffic stops, and citizen complaints pages as your primary dashboards. Snapshots that provide you with overviews of these important citizen interactions over time to help identify any areas that may require additional scrutiny. The main areas of these pages consist of 5 widgets or data visualizations. For example, on the use of force page, the first horizontal bar chart shows the number of use of force incidents by division. This is followed by a ring pie chart that further breaks down the occurrences of this data point by reason. The second horizontal bar chart shows use of force instances by category, level 1, level 2, or level 3. A line chart shows the number of use of force incidents over time at the division level. A division-level density map is color-coded to reflect the relative density of this data point in a particular region. There is a left pane on each of these pages that allows you to specify your selection criteria and refine your results. For example, attributes for the following data points can be adjusted to identify specific behavior correlations that may be of interest. Preset date ranges allow you to specify a time frame from the drop-down list that covers the previous 3, 6, or 12 months. Use of force, complaint, traffic stop, profiles. Also notice the threshold radio buttons under use of force, complaint, and traffic stop, which we will get to in a minute. When you click Run Report, all of the charts and maps on the current page refresh to reflect the selections that you made using the left pane. On the Identify Outliers page, the result sets, complaints versus traffic stops versus use of force, and use of force versus complaints are correlated in a scatter plot chart where each point represents a specific officer. The size of the point is determined by the number of years on the force. So a point for an officer who was on the force for 31 years appears larger than a point for an officer who was on the force for 9 years. Remember the threshold radio buttons on the left pane? This value determines where the line is drawn on the scatter plot chart. For example, when examining correlation results for complaints versus traffic stops on the left side of the line, 99% of officers have fewer than that number of citizen complaints. In addition, 99% of officers have fewer than that number of traffic stops. On the right side of the line are those officers who are identified as outliers. To examine details further, click a point representing an officer and then select Complaints for Specific Officer from the context menu. A list of all complaints recorded for that officer is returned and displayed in the Officer Detail area of the page. The same functionality applies if you were to select Traffic Stop by Specific Officer from the Context menu. Notice that each of these data points are correlated: complaints versus traffic stops versus use of force, and use of force versus complaints. Each identifies its own outliers. The report on the right side of the Identify Outliers page identifies those officers who show up on 2 or more of those correlations. Starting with the default view of all the data on the use of force, traffic stops, and citizen complaint pages, you have complete control over selecting specific attributes. The Identify Outliers page finds the correlations that can enable a law enforcement agency to get a handle on critical insights into citizen interactions.